Captain Jerk stood at the edge of the observation deck, staring out at the swirling nebula below. The colors, violet, orange, and deep blue, stretched across the void like a cosmic painting. It should have been beautiful, inspiring. Instead, Jerk felt hollow. The war was over, or at least his part in it, and now he was waiting for a reward that felt meaningless. He had fought for humanity across 3 star systems, earning medals and praise, yet the human coalition he served seemed almost indifferent. Then came the announcement. Through the Interstellar Council, a reward was offered, not money, not land, not promotion, but a companion, an alien woman from the planet Veridian. Jerk had raised an eyebrow when he first heard it. A companion. Was that a gift, a courtesy, or some alien tradition he had no interest in understanding? The doors to the observation deck hissed open. A figure stepped through, tall, graceful, and almost otherworldly. Her skin shimmered faintly under the artificial lights, a soft iridescence that reminded Jerk of moonlight on water. Her eyes, large and almond-shaped, glowed faintly green. She walked with an elegance that suggested training, power, and authority. "Captain Jerk," she said, her voice smooth, almost musical. "I am Lyra of House Vale. I am assigned to you." "By whom?" Still, he reminded himself of something important. Lyra was not here to please him. She was here to work with him. And if he wanted to survive the coming months, he had a feeling they would be months, he would need her. "I see," he said finally. "Then I suppose we should get started." "Captain, I am no servant. I am a partner. You would do well to remember that." Jerk, for his part, was stubborn, quick-tempered, and fiercely independent. Every task became a dance of negotiation, testing boundaries and learning limits. They were assigned to a joint mission almost immediately. A planet on the outer rim had reported unusual activity, pirate raids, and strange energy signatures. Jerk's instincts told him it was a simple patrol, but Lyra disagreed. "The readings are not ordinary," she said, pointing at a holographic map. "There is an intelligence behind these raids. It is organized and it adapts quickly. If we act carelessly, civilians will die." She recognized a truth she respected. Humans rushed into danger, but when they fought with ingenuity and heart. The journey to the outer rim was tense. They shared a small ship, far too small for comfort. Jerk tried to make conversation, telling stories of his campaigns, of battles and victories. Lyra listened, asking questions about human culture, tactics, and even humor. She had no sense of sarcasm, no taste for idle jokes, but she admired courage, ingenuity, and loyalty. Those traits humans had in abundance. Their first real challenge came sooner than expected. As they approached the mining colony on Helix 7, their sensors picked up a raid in progress. A small fleet of pirates, 3 fast ships, heavily armed, was attacking the colony. Explosions lit the dark skies of the planet like fireworks, and panic-filled transmissions filled their comm channels. Jerk gritted his teeth. "We're going in. Full combat protocol. Lyra, you cover my left flank." Precision and coordination will save more lives than reckless heroics. At one point, a pirate ship targeted a civilian transport, aiming to destroy it. Jerk froze it in his sights, but the ship was too fast, its maneuvers unpredictable. Lyra intercepted, launching a coordinated attack that disabled the pirate without harming the transport. Jerk's jaw slackened. "How did you do that?" "I anticipated the path and corrected it with precision. Humans are reactive, aliens are predictive. Together, we can do both." And she respected him, not because of rank, not because of tradition, but because he had proven himself in combat. The raid ended quickly after that. The pirates, recognizing their advantage was lost, fled into hyperspace. The colony was damaged, but no civilians had died. Jerk and Lyra landed, walking among the survivors. The humans cheered, grateful for their intervention, but Jerk noticed Lyra's eyes scanning for threats, always vigilant. "Not bad, Captain," she said quietly. "Your reflexes are fast, your decisions often risky but effective. You have something many of my people lack, courage tempered with adaptability. You saved a lot of lives today. You made me look good, too." During the quiet hours of the ship's voyage, Jerk found himself watching Lyra study the stars. She was curious not just about space, but about him, about humans. And he found himself curious about her, not as a prize, not as a reward, but as a person, a mind as sharp and formidable as his own. "Do you ever wonder," Jerk asked, his voice low, "why we fight so much? Humans, aliens, we just keep going into war after war." "I'll take that as a compliment." And that realization, that a human and an alien could face the galaxy together, complementing each other's strengths, Felt like the start of a new kind of war, one fought not just with weapons, but with respect, understanding, and a bond that neither could have anticipated. The reward, Jerk thought as he glanced at Lyra, had turned out to be far more valuable than any medal, promotion, or title. It was a chance to prove that humans and their courage could matter even in the vast, indifferent void of space. And perhaps, just perhaps, it was a chance to discover something neither of them had expected: friendship, trust, something even deeper. The stars outside the viewport streaked past as the ship glided through hyperspace. Captain Jerk sat in the pilot chair, fingers tapping lightly against the console. His mind was restless. Helix 7 had been a success, but he knew the galaxy offered far bigger challenges. He had survived countless missions, but something about this partnership with Lyra made every decision heavier. Lyra, standing nearby, was silent, observing the navigation feed. Her iridescent skin caught the dim light, and her glowing green eyes seemed to follow every star, every data blip. Despite her calm exterior, Jerk could sense the tension in her posture. She was always alert, always analyzing. "Why are you so quiet?" Jerk asked. "You're not meditating, are you?" Meditation is not necessary when vigilance is constant. The signals we picked up on Helix 7 were not random. They suggest a pattern. I am trying to understand it. That is why you are interesting. Pirates likely, but their formation is unusual. Organized, disciplined. They've learned something we don't yet know. Rushing in could cost lives. Jerk found himself studying Lyra as she worked, impressed by the precision of her calculations and the way she anticipated each movement. He had fought alongside humans who were brilliant tacticians, but Lyra's mind operated differently, predictive, adaptive, and seemingly flawless. Finally, Lyra spoke. "They are not attacking randomly. They are targeting a research station on Aluran 3. They are after a shipment of advanced terraforming technology. If they succeed, it could destabilize the entire sector. If we act separately, they will exploit it. But remember, Captain, sacrifice is not an option. Precision is paramount. There are civilians at risk." Sleek, black, and menacing, their hulls glinted under the light of the nearby sun. Jerk's fingers danced across the controls, launching decoys, adjusting shields, and preparing weapons. Lyra coordinated perfectly, guiding him with calm precision. "3 ships on your left," she said, her voice steady. "Intercept immediately. Their formation is weak there." She was a partner, equal in every sense, and perhaps even more capable than he had imagined. The diversion worked. Lyra drew half the enemy fleet toward an asteroid field, where her precision, maneuvering, and understanding of enemy tactics allowed her to disable several ships without casualties. Meanwhile, Jerk focused on the remaining vessels, moving with human unpredictability that Lyra had learned to anticipate. In the thick of the fight, one pirate ship broke through, targeting the research station. Jerk's heart pounded. If the ship hit, the station, and possibly the sector, would be destroyed. He pushed the engines to the limit, weaving through debris and enemy fire until he was directly in its path. Lyra's voice came through the calm. "Captain, do not engage recklessly. Wait for the opening." Aluran 3 was safe. The remaining pirates, seeing their plan fail, retreated into hyperspace. The battle was over. Jerk exhaled, adrenaline coursing through him. "Not bad, partner," he said, a grin breaking across his face. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly. "You are learning to anticipate, Captain. Your improvisation is effective, though still reckless. Caution would improve efficiency, but I will not deny your results. Captain, your intervention was incredible, but your companion, she is extraordinary. How did you manage such coordination?" Jerk realized that she valued results over praise, efficiency over recognition. He admired that. As they prepared to leave, Jerk noticed Lyra scanning the horizon. "Something wrong?" he asked. She shook her head. "No, observation is never wrong. I am analyzing patterns. The pirates will strike again. We must be ready. And I suppose that means we'll be partners for a while longer." She was a teacher, a strategist, a comrade. And slowly he realized that he was not just learning from her. He was learning about himself, about what it meant to lead, to trust, and to fight alongside someone who was not human. "You know," he said quietly, "I never expected this. A human and an alien working together, actually saving lives. I thought it would be awkward." They had faced pirates, protected civilians, and discovered the power of partnership. And he knew, deep down, that this was only the beginning. The challenges ahead would be greater, the threats more cunning, and the stakes higher. But for the first time, he felt truly ready, not because he was a soldier, but because he was no longer alone. Lyra's presence was no longer a burden. It was a gift, one that carried knowledge, strength, and insight that Jerk had never known. Together, they were not just a human and an alien. They were a team, capable of facing the unknown with courage, intelligence, and trust. As hyperspace carried them further into the uncharted sectors, Jerk allowed himself a rare moment of hope. The galaxy was vast, full of dangers and mysteries, but with Lyra by his side, he believed they could meet anything, fight anything, and maybe, just maybe, make a difference. He glanced at her once more. She was studying the stars, calm and focused, a creature of discipline and brilliance. And he realized something important. He did not want to face the next battle without her. Lyra's eyes met his for a fleeting moment, and he saw a hint of understanding, of recognition, perhaps even trust. The human soldier and the alien warrior were no longer bound by assignment or obligation. They were partners, united by experience, strengthened by mutual respect, and ready to face whatever the galaxy had in store. And somewhere deep in the void of space, Jerk knew, that was the true reward. The galaxy outside the viewport was calm, almost deceptively peaceful. Captain Jerk leaned back in his chair, rubbing the fatigue from his eyes. The recent battle on Aluran 3 had been successful, but he knew it was only a prelude. He could feel the tension building across the sector, a sense of something larger lurking just beyond their sensors. Lyra stood at the tactical console, her fingers tracing patterns in the holographic display. She didn't speak, but Jerk could tell she was thinking, analyzing. He had grown used to her quiet focus, the calm determination that contrasted sharply with his own restless energy. "Any news from the council?" Jerk asked, breaking the silence. Lyra shook her head. "No updates. They are preoccupied with other conflicts. The pirate activity is escalating faster than expected. We must be proactive, not reactive." "Trouble is a matter of perspective, Captain. Humans tend to see danger as an obstacle. I see it as a test of adaptability." The transmission was garbled, but the words were clear enough. "Attack pirates urgent." Lyra and Jerk worked together seamlessly, sharing navigation duties and tactical analysis. Jerk admired her efficiency, her ability to anticipate threats before they appeared. He had fought alongside humans who were brilliant strategists, but Lyra's mind operated on a level that was entirely different, predictive, analytical, and precise. As they approached the research station, their sensors picked up multiple enemy ships converging from different directions. Unlike the previous encounters, these pirates were coordinated, their attacks synchronized with military precision. Jerk gritted his teeth. "They've learned from us. We need to split their forces. Draw part of their fleet toward the asteroid belt. I can handle the main assault if you take the diversion team." "Let's do it." Her ships moved with precision, anticipating every attack, exploiting weaknesses in the enemy formation. Jerk could monitor her progress through the comms, hearing her calm, clear instructions as she directed the battle. Hours passed. The asteroid belt had been a deadly maze, but Jerk's instincts and human adaptability allowed him to outmaneuver the pirates. Several enemy ships were destroyed or disabled, forcing the remaining vessels to retreat. When the battle ended, Jerk emerged from the asteroid belt battered but victorious. He rejoined Lyra near the research station, where the remaining pirates were either fleeing or surrendering. Lyra's eyes met his. "Well executed, Captain. Your improvisation in the asteroid belt was effective." "I did not anticipate such adaptive maneuvers from a human pilot." Jerk and Lyra quickly assessed the situation, coordinating repairs and ensuring security. During the debrief, one of the lead scientists approached. "Captain Jerk, Lyra, your timing was impeccable. The pirates were well prepared, yet you managed to counter them perfectly. How did you coordinate so effectively?" "Strategy, anticipation, and adaptability. That is all." "I'll take that as a compliment." "You know," he said, breaking the silence, "I never thought I'd be working with an alien and actually learning from them." "I'll take it." Jerk launched a series of plasma bursts, but the drone anticipated every move. Lyra's eyes narrowed. "It is learning from us. We must disable it without allowing it to transmit data." Lyra's precision strikes disrupted its systems, while Jerk's unpredictable maneuvers kept it off balance. After several tense minutes, they successfully disabled the drone, preventing any critical information from being stolen. Breathing heavily, Jerk looked at Lyra. "Nice work. That was tricky. You demonstrated creativity, and I provided precision. Together, we neutralized the threat. This is the value of partnership. As they prepared to leave the station, Jerk reflected on the day's events. The galaxy was unpredictable, full of danger and uncertainty, but with Lyra at his side, he felt capable of facing anything. They had proven that humans and aliens could work together, complementing each other's strengths and overcoming challenges that neither could face alone. During the quiet hours of the voyage back, Jerk found himself staring out at the stars, thinking about the bond that had formed between him and Lyra. It was no longer a matter of obligation or assignment. They were partners, equals, and perhaps something more, a team built on trust, respect, and shared experiences. "You know," he said quietly, "I never expected this. I thought having an alien assigned to me would be awkward, difficult." The galaxy was vast and dangerous, but with Lyra by his side, he knew they could face any challenge. Together, they were more than just a human and an alien. They were a force capable of changing the outcome of battles, saving lives, and proving that cooperation and trust could overcome even the greatest threats. As the stars stretched past them, Jerk realized that the reward he had received, a companion assigned by tradition, had become far more valuable than any medal or title. It was a chance to learn, to grow, and to face the galaxy with someone who complemented him in every way. And deep down, he knew that this partnership was only the beginning. The galaxy held greater dangers, more cunning enemies, and challenges that would test every skill, every instinct, and every ounce of courage they possessed. But he was ready. Lyra's presence was no longer a duty, it was a strength. And together they would continue to face the unknown, proving that humans, with their courage and ingenuity, could stand as equals among the stars. The human soldier and the alien warrior had become more than partners. They had become a team capable of facing the galaxy, side by side, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. And somewhere in the endless expanse of space, Jerk felt a rare spark of hope. The galaxy was unpredictable, dangerous, and often cruel, but with Lyra, he knew they could survive, adapt, and even thrive. He glanced at her once more, catching the faintest hint of a smile. It was not pride or arrogance, it was acknowledgement, respect, trust. And in that moment, Jerk understood that they were not just surviving. They were learning, growing, and proving something extraordinary. That humans, with their courage, ingenuity, and determination, could make a difference even in a galaxy that seemed indifferent. Lyra's eyes met his again, and for the first time, Jerk felt that their partnership was not just a reward, not just a duty, it was a choice. A mutual understanding that together they could face whatever the universe had to throw at them. And the stars stretched on, endless and inviting, as if the galaxy itself was waiting for them to leave their mark. The galaxy was quiet, but Jerk and Lyra both knew better than to trust silence. Their victories on Aluran 3 and in the Epsilon sector had made them targets, not just of pirates, but of those who wanted to manipulate the chaos for their own gain. They were traveling toward the Agorath expanse, where a neutral trading hub lay at the center of a network of hyperspace lanes. The Coalition had sent a message: coordinate with the hub's leadership, ensure security, and investigate suspicious transmissions. Jerk studied the map projected in the cockpit. "You feel that too, right?" "Quiet like this never lasts." Jerk's brow furrowed. "What is that?" "They are preparing for infiltration. We must intercept them before they act." Jerk guided their vessel to a discreet docking platform while Lyra accessed the hub's security systems remotely. "Captain, someone is feeding false information to the hub's sensors," Lyra warned. "They are attempting to manipulate detection protocols. They know we are coming. We must proceed carefully. We are being observed." Lyra scanned quickly. "Imposters. They have hacked Coalition identification protocols. Their aim is unclear but likely sabotage or intelligence theft." They approached the group and Jerk called out, "Hands where we can see them." Once the situation was under control, Lyra accessed the computer systems. They were attempting to extract sensitive data regarding Coalition operations, fleet positions, and planetary defense plans. Whoever sent them wants to destabilize the sector. "The data has been partially transmitted. If we trace it, we may uncover the origin, but it will require time and discretion. Whoever is behind this will not act alone." Jerk's human intuition and quick thinking identified irregular patterns, while Lyra's analytical precision decoded the transmissions and traced the network of spies. Slowly, a picture emerged. A faction of rogue Coalition members had allied with external mercenaries, aiming to seize control of key sectors. "They are powerful," Lyra said, "but they have underestimated us." "They always do." Jerk led the counterattacks, improvising in real time, using human ingenuity to exploit weaknesses in the enemy's formation. The battle raged through the hub, a mix of precision strikes and chaotic skirmishes. Jerk marveled at Lyra's ability to anticipate and respond, guiding troops, coordinating defenses, and neutralizing threats with minimal risk. At one point, a group of rogue mercenaries attempted to seize the hub's central control tower. Jerk and Lyra intercepted them, moving through corridors and docking bays with a combination of stealth, strategy, and force. Lyra's movements were precise and fluid, while Jerk's instinctive reactions kept them one step ahead. They cornered the last group in a maintenance bay. Jerk raised his weapon, but Lyra stopped him. "No casualties, we do not need to fight to win." Once the hub was secure, they gathered the captured rogues and secured the sensitive systems. Lyra accessed the central console, tracing the origins of the sabotage. "It leads to an uncharted sector," she said. "Coordinates suggest a hidden base, possibly where the rogue faction is coordinating their operations. They are far more organized than we anticipated. Then we find them, and we shut them down." Lyra analyzed enemy capabilities, predicting defenses, patrol routes, and likely responses. Jerk contributed human ingenuity, devising unexpected maneuvers, diversions, and counterattacks. They worked in perfect harmony, a combination of instinct and precision, improvisation and calculation. By the time they were ready to leave the hub, the rogue faction had regrouped but was significantly weakened. Jerk and Lyra's actions had saved countless lives, protected vital intelligence, and demonstrated the power of human and alien cooperation. As they departed, Lyra spoke quietly. "Captain, today proved something important. Humanity's courage and adaptability, combined with precision and foresight, can overcome even calculated threats. Together, we are formidable. This partnership, it is valuable." But he knew that the rogue faction was only a fraction of the threat. The galaxy was vast, unpredictable, and filled with those who would exploit chaos for their own gain. Their next mission would be even more dangerous, requiring every ounce of courage, strategy, and trust they had built. Lyra, standing at the navigation console, observed the stars in silence. Jerk watched her, realizing that the alien assigned to him, once a source of tension, uncertainty, and curiosity, had become his greatest ally, his equal, and a testament to what humans could achieve when they learned to cooperate with beings from other worlds. He felt a surge of pride, not just in himself, but in humanity. Humans could fight, adapt, and survive against impossible odds. They could think, act, and inspire in ways that even the most advanced civilizations sometimes underestimated. And with Lyra by his side, Jerk knew they could face anything. Rogue factions, pirates, conspiracies, none could stand against a human and an alien who had learned to trust, respect, and fight together. For the first time in a long while, he allowed himself to hope, not just for survival, but for victory, for understanding, and for the future. The galaxy awaited, full of danger, opportunity, and challenge. And Jerk and Lyra, partners forged in combat and respect, were ready to meet it head-on. Together, they were more than a soldier and an alien warrior. They were a force, proving that courage, ingenuity, and cooperation could triumph even in the darkest corners of space. And somewhere deep in the void, Jerk knew that humanity's spirit, the spark that refused to yield, would shine brighter than any star, guiding them toward their next adventure, their next victory, and the uncharted mysteries of the galaxy. The uncharted sector stretched before them, a cold expanse of stars and empty void. Captain Jerk's fingers hovered over the controls, muscles tense, mind alert. Beside him, Lyra stood at the tactical console, analyzing every sensor reading, every energy spike, every potential threat. The rogue faction's hidden base lay ahead, cloaked behind a jumble of asteroids and artificial stealth fields. Intelligence indicated it was heavily guarded, bristling with weapons, and likely prepared for a human-alien assault. "This is it," Jerk said quietly, his voice steady despite the weight of the mission. "We find their base, we shut them down, no one else gets hurt if we can help it. But let's not underestimate firepower either." As they neared the base, their sensors picked up multiple defensive drones and automated turrets. Lyra studied the layout. "Entry points are limited. We must disable external defenses first, or we risk heavy casualties. Let's take them out quietly, then move in." Once the outer defenses were neutralized, Jerk and Lyra approached the main docking bay. Inside, ships and equipment were scattered across the vast hangar. Rogue faction troops moved quickly, attempting to regroup. Lyra's voice was calm but firm. "Captain, the central command hub is likely here. Their leader coordinates all operations from this location. If we take the hub, we end the threat." Jerk followed closely, improvising as needed, using his human ingenuity to create distractions and manipulate enemy patrols. As they approached the command hub, alarms blared. The rogue faction had discovered their presence and activated automated defenses. Laser turrets scanned the corridor, forcing Jerk and Lyra to dive for cover. "Stay calm," Lyra instructed. "Predictive movement and improvisation will carry us through." Finally, they reached the command hub, a sleek, fortified room filled with screens, control panels, and a single figure standing at the center. The leader of the rogue faction turned, revealing a tall humanoid with sharp features, eyes cold and calculating. "So," the leader said, voice dripping with arrogance, "the human and the alien think they can stop me. We don't think we know. Maybe, but humans improvise, and aliens anticipate. Together, we're unpredictable." Lyra disabled the central turret arrays while Jerk created diversions, drawing enemy fire and exploiting gaps in their defenses. The fight was intense, a mixture of strategy, skill, and courage. Jerk's adaptability allowed him to anticipate unexpected threats, while Lyra's predictive analysis ensured their every move was calculated and efficient. Together, they dismantled the rogue faction's defenses, neutralizing drones and disabling systems with minimal collateral damage. Finally, they confronted the leader directly. The rogue human was skilled, but he underestimated the synergy between Captain Jerk and Lyra. In a final, coordinated move, Lyra struck with precision, immobilizing him, while Jerk secured the command console, cutting off communications and shutting down automated defenses. The leader slumped to the floor, defeated. Jerk exhaled heavily. "It's over. Coalition systems will be safe, and your sector will recover quickly." They had faced a formidable threat, one that could have destabilized entire sectors, and they had succeeded. Not because of brute force alone, but because of partnership, trust, and the ability to adapt and strategize together. Lyra approached him. "Captain, you have proven something important. Humans are capable of more than raw strength. Your intuition, courage, and adaptability complement precision and strategy. Together, you can achieve what neither could alone." The galaxy was calm again, but both knew it would not remain so for long. There would always be new threats, new challenges, but they were ready. During the quiet moments of the voyage, Jerk reflected on everything they had accomplished. The partnership that had begun as an assignment, a so-called reward, had transformed into something far more valuable. It was trust, respect, and mutual reliance. Lyra studied the stars quietly. "Captain, I have observed humans for much of my life. Your species is resilient, unpredictable, and courageous. You prove time and again that determination and ingenuity can overcome even the greatest obstacles. And you've taught me that planning, precision, and foresight can make that courage even stronger. I guess we both learned something." "I'll take that too." "Lyra," he said, breaking the silence, "when this is all done, what happens next? Do you return to your world?" "That is worth preserving." Jerk and Lyra, human and alien, soldier and strategist, had faced the greatest challenge yet and emerged victorious. They had proven that courage, ingenuity, and trust could overcome even the most dangerous conspiracies. As they entered the coalition sector, the reports of their success preceded them. Colonies and command centers alike hailed their victory. But for Jerk and Lyra, the true accomplishment was the bond they had forged, a partnership built on mutual respect, shared experience, and the realization that humans could achieve greatness when they embraced cooperation, adaptability, and courage. "Captain," Lyra said quietly, "you have proven humanity is not only capable of surviving but of thriving. Your actions today will be remembered." Together, they had faced a rogue faction, protected countless lives, and demonstrated the extraordinary potential of cooperation across species. As they prepared to dock at the Coalition Command Center, Jerk felt a sense of hope. The galaxy was vast, full of uncertainty and danger, but with Lyra by his side, he knew humanity's spirit. The courage, ingenuity, and resilience that defined them could shine brightly. He glanced at her once more, seeing in her eyes a reflection of determination, respect, and trust. The partnership that had begun as a council-assigned reward had transformed into something far more powerful, a symbol of what could be achieved when humans and aliens worked together. And somewhere in the endless void of space, Jerk knew that this was only the beginning. More challenges would come, more conspiracies would arise, and more battles would test their skills. But together they would face them, and humanity would continue to prove that courage, intelligence, and heart could leave a lasting mark among the stars. For the first time in a long while, Captain Jerk allowed himself to smile freely. He was no longer just a soldier. He was a pioneer, a partner, and a representative of humanity's boundless potential. Lyra's voice broke the silence. "Captain, we have succeeded today. Let us prepare for the next mission. The galaxy awaits, and we will meet it together." Human courage and alien precision, instinct and strategy, trust and ingenuity, all combined to create a force that could face any challenge. The galaxy was theirs to protect, explore, and change, and they would do so side by side.